Now we're going to look at using an if statement selection to control program flow. I'm going to write comment here by using an apostrophe, and this will be ignored by the compiler, and therefore it won't look for a meaning to this text here. So I can write anything that will be ignored. So here I'll write an example of an if then else statement. This is a very basic program function here. So what I'll do is I'll start with two variables, dim x as integer. This is going to be a whole number, and I will initialize it with a value. And I'll set the value, I'll assign the value of 0. And then I'll add dim y as integer, and I will assign it the value 0 so that they have initial values. And then I will ask the prompt user to enter a value for x and y. So console object.writeLine, enter a value for x. X is assigned the value of console.readLine, then console.writeLine, enter a value for y, and I will read the value for y in here, console.readLine. And now to my if statement. Let's move this up a bit. If x is greater than y, if x is greater than y, then console.writeLine, and it's a string so it needs a quote, x is greater, else console.writeLine, y is greater, y is a larger number. And you can see by default it's put in an end to an if statement. So this is saying if this statement, evaluates to true, then do this line, otherwise do this line, and then we're going to end the if statement here. And I'll just put in a console.readLine to hold my program in place so that I can see the output. So I declare two variables, x and y. I initialize them with values of 0. I prompt the user to type in a value for x. I read that value, I assign that value into the variable, the holding place x. Then I prompt the user to enter value for y. I assign that, I read in the input, and I assign that to y. And then if this expression is true, then I write this, that x is greater, else console.writeLine, y is greater. And I end the if statement, and now I put in a read line just to hold it in place. So 5 for x, I read that in, and now I'm going to do 6 for y, and y is greater.